anti-Semitism. It is exporting racism, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia to every corner of the world. There is a rise which is matched between anti-Semitism and Islamophobia everywhere. And if you want to know why the West is supporting and financing and arming a state like Israel, just think about Islamophobia for a moment. I don't have time today to speak about it, but I've published about this recently. Islamophobia is what connects the West for many, many generations since the Crusades. And remember, the Crusades were not just the first terrible aspect of Islamophobia, but they were also a uniting action for the Christians of Europe. It kept Europe Christian, which meant it kept the two hatreds alive. The hatred towards the Jewish other and the hatred towards the Muslim other. Now I want to remind you, because we're talking a lot about history today, and that's very important, that the only time since leaving Palestine, Jews have experienced life which was free of danger and free of anti-Semitism and free of what has become at the end the Holocaust and racial hatred, was under Muslim rule. Now this is not fully understood, this is not fully realized, this is not fully admitted. That's very important. Under Christian rule, we know what happened. I won't talk about that. This is known to every child everywhere. What has happened under Muslim rule most of the time was that Jews lived in, I wouldn't say without ever conflict, but I would say in relative equality and in relative equanimity in so many places that this cannot be forbidden, it cannot be ignored and forgotten. I mean Al-Andalus, that is Spain. I mean the whole of Southern Europe, the Balkans. Just go around, yeah? Turkey, later the Turkish Empire, the Ottoman Empire, Palestine, okay? In Palestine there was no conflict between Jews, Muslims and Christians because they lived in the country and in the place that was holy to all of them and meaningful. Now go ahead and go around the Arab world to Iraq, to Iran, to even to India under the Mughals, again a Muslim regime. Jews, Christians and Muslims lived in peace. And let's continue the circle to Africa, the whole of North Africa, the Arabia, of course. All these Islamic regimes have treated Jews and Christians as believers in the same God. Now, I'm not Muslim, and I'm not arguing now for Islam. I just want to mention this because people do not understand and do not recognize this. And there is something very important here. It never happened under Christian rulership, and it never happened under the Jewish state, so-called. It is not a Jewish state. And it's not a Jewish state because it does not allow people who are others to live in peace. And that is not Jewish. Now, what happened is that the danger now is that the actions of people who call themselves Jews, who say that they represent all Jews, Zionism is supposedly speaking for all Jews. What a lie, yeah? They say that we, people like Ilan and myself, and you, my brothers, and everyone who is Jewish in this audience and isn't here,